Hi friends, welcome back to Sheena's Homestead. If you're new here, I'm Sheena and this is my homestead. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to my channel, then let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a mom of 4 kids. We are a homeschooled family as of this year. We've really loved the process of learning and trying new things, and it's going really well for us. So I'm just kind of documenting that part of our life and our journey so that we can slow down a little bit and enjoy each other all that much more. I'm also working on a more sustainable lifestyle. We're trying to be as self-sufficient as we possibly can. So we're learning all the things that our great-grandparents knew a long time ago, and you know, it didn't get passed on because we've had the conveniences of modern life. But we're trying to get back to those days because I think there's a lot more joy and a lot more benefit to children who grow up in a lifestyle with farming and animals, gardening, and you know, just the overall joy of being together and working together as a family. So if that's the kind of thing you like to watch, then I'm the channel for you. If you don't mind, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps a lot. So on to our content for today. So I've been thinking a lot about how I bring content to you and what's in it for the future and how we're going to proceed from here on out. And I think that I'm going to do something called Update Wednesdays. And in that space, I think I'm just going to show you all the updates on the homestead of things that we've been working on together and how those things are progressing and going. And so that you can go back and look at some of the videos that came out on a Sunday with new projects, and then Wednesdays will be the time where you can see what the update looks like for that. I think it'll be a lot more organized, and I also think that it'll help you a lot to be able to follow along as well. So on to our Update Wednesdays. In previous shows, you have seen Rob and I put together this grow shelf. The shelf is from Costco and the lights are from Home Depot. We were super lucky to find them on clearance. Rob simply put together the shelf, and then we took the zip ties and tied the lights to the top. You can see here in some of the instances I've brought the seedlings closer to the light because I noticed they were kind of stretching towards the window for more light, and I figured if I brought them up closer we could get a hardier, thicker stem. That's what you want. You don't want long, gangly plants. You want plants that are strong, sturdy, and thick so that they can withstand a lot of fruit production or whatever it is that you're growing. So in this instance, these are tomatoes, and we want to get them a really good, nice head start, and that looks like it's going really well. These over here are watermelons. We have more tomatoes, seeds I just planted, cucumbers. In this window, it's mostly tomatoes, and the reason for that is I feel like I can get a really good head start with that. I also have container planting, as you know. The container planting, I've done other things other than tomatoes, so a lot of my cabbage, we've got broccoli out there, some flowers as well. We're gonna grow some marigolds. Marigolds make your chicken eggs even yellower, if you can believe that. Chickens really love the taste of marigolds, and they also help in the garden because they deter pests from your plants. So we're going to plant both things in our garden this year. We're going to do some flowers, we're going to do some vegetables and fruits. It's going to be wonderful. It is a cold and rainy day today. Tomorrow's forecast is very much the same. And then after that, we just spring right out of spring and into summer. And that is the way the Midwest goes in the United States. We very much have a long winter, very short spring, and then we go straight into summer. And thankfully we have a pretty nice fall. So we're right on the brink there of springing right through to summer. Kids are very excited to see 70 degrees and up in the forecast, and so am I. So without further ado, let me show you some of the things that we've been growing. Okay, so here we have some tomatoes. I believe they are Roma. The label is on the other side. so I can't see exactly, but they are doing really well. And here I just planted some cucumbers, so they haven't germinated yet, but I have my warming seed mat down right here that heats up the temperature of the dirt and really makes those seeds pop a lot quicker. Once that has happened and the seeds pop up, we then take off the top so that they can get direct sunlight and grow. As you can see, these are doing really well. They're nice and hardy. And some of them are starting to grow their second leaves, so that is really impressive. These here are watermelon. We did really well with our watermelon last year, and it was the most delicious watermelon we've ever had in our lives. So this is just a start. We'll get these in the ground as soon as temperatures warm up, and then we'll plant by seed too, so that we can have a succession of watermelon. And then these two, these are San Marzano tomatoes, and a couple just popped. So I would say this grow light is really working. This is the first year that I've had a grow light to work with. Last year my plants were very, very slow. Oh, look at this guy, doing so great. But do you see how they're stretching towards the light because they're on the end here? If you can keep them from doing that, that is great. As you can see, these are nice and sturdy. Oh, these are Tiny Tim. There's the, I'll put that in right here. Tiny Tim, they are a great variety. So they can grow inside on a windowsill and produce tiny little cherry tomatoes. They're wonderful. They taste great. And this is our Sunny Gold Select. They produce little yellow tomatoes. They're so delicious. Jacob would eat them right off the vine as candy. So as you can see, all of these plants are doing really well. So this is a plant that I purchased from the store. It is a Tiny Tim variation. So as you can see, it just does completely fine right here in the window and produces really yummy little tomatoes for us. So now that you've seen these plants and how they are progressing, let me show you something else. We actually got a second egg incubator, and we are starting to hatch even more ducklings and chickens. We do have a waiting list around here of different people who want to share in our love of ducklings. So Rob's got that list down, and as soon as they hatch and we've taken care of them for a couple days, they go to their new home. Of course, we're keeping a couple of our favorites. That always happens, so you have to account for that. But we did have a little one hatch today, and today it is a chicken, a little chickie baby. I didn't put as many chicken eggs in as I usually do. The ducks are more in demand right now because you can basically get chicken eggs for hatching, and you can just buy chicks from our local feed stores pretty much all over. So they are not as rare at the moment. Duckies are in much more high demand, especially the kind that we breed. We have something called a Welsh Harlequin, and those are really sweet and docile birds. They lay an egg every single day, and they're wonderful pets. And they're a great addition to any homestead or farm. So we have a large waiting list for those, and that is, I would say, the main part of our incubating process. So right now we're just kind of sticking to that, but back to the star of the show today, which is our baby chick. So here she is. Funny story is that we didn't even realize she was going to be born today. We've been keeping track of the duck eggs. You can see the dates I've written on the bottom of each egg, but I didn't remember putting when I put the chicken egg in. So this little baby was quite the surprise to wake up to this morning, and she's super cute. You can see she's tired from hatching, so she keeps going in and out of being awake and asleep. So we're really happy to have welcomed her into our family, and it was a really nice surprise on this cold and rainy day. So I'm taking you outside for this one. It is quite the icky day. It is cold and rainy, but I want you to be able to see the update on these plants here. So we have our bullnose peppers there. Doesn't look like they've sprouted yet. Let's see, this one is tomatoes. I was experimenting to see how these do versus the ones inside, and they look about the same right now. This is my yellow squash. It's doing amazing. I'm really impressed with that. And let's see what we got over here. This one is Sweetheart cherry tomatoes. We got some sprouts. Here's my cabbage. It's doing wonderfully. These are my granny tomatoes. And here we have sunflowers. They sprouted really quickly. I love it. And oh my goodness, look at this. These are my dragon tongue beans. And this is celery in here. We have some little tiny sprouts, if you can see. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this because this planting method is very much hands-off. I don't even have to water them very often. They get what they need. I put some good gravel at the bottom to filter out the water. And I think we're doing really well with this. So far, this is definitely a win. It's not a very pretty method, but that's okay. Our sprouting process is going wonderfully. We are saving so much money on chicken feed. As you can see, this is about 4 days out, 3 days out, 2 days, and I started this one last night. So on here you can see there are some very, very little tails, but not many because this was started just about 12 hours ago. This one has lots of white tails, as you can see, and those tails will probably grow about a ½ inch today. And tomorrow it'll look more like this. And then this one is 4 days out, and you can see those tails are more than an inch long. Some is even starting to get green. And you can see how dense the roots are right there. This is pretty much when I take it out, shred it up, and put it in the chicken bin. Rob told me he thinks that I should get another set of these and do even more because it's working so well. The more sprouted we can use and the less grain, the better for our pocketbook. In my last video, I showed you guys how just 1 cup, so basically fills this much of the jar, dry grain, turns into this. And if I let it go all the way till tonight, which I will, so that they can eat it tomorrow, it'll fill up this entire jar and be completely packed. So it's a great way to literally stretch $1. So last but not least, I wanted to share some really exciting news with you all. You all know I'm a photographer and that my life is photographing and capturing children in childhood moments. It's always been something that is just super close to my heart, and it's why I try to preserve my children in their childhood as long as I possibly can. So this means a lot to me because I have worked day in and day out for many years to kind of hone my craft and get as good as I possibly can be at photography and all of the, you know, the artistic detail that goes into a fine art image. It really does take a lot of practice, a lot of training, and just constantly trying, just constantly getting back out there and trying again and figuring out your craft. So this is what is important to me. It is an award. WPE is an internationally acclaimed service that judges your work. So you submit your images to them, and people from all over the world enter the contest as well, and they have a panel of judges who are the highest experts of their levels, and they judge you. It is a really intimidating process to take something that you've worked so hard on and submit it for criticism. It's actually taught me a lot about life. It's taught me a lot about the process of getting better at things and being able to take criticism and learn and grow from it. I'm trying to teach the kids that that process is really important for us. So this award means that, I'll take it out for you. It means that I placed 68th in the world out of almost 12,000 photographers, and each photographer was allowed 25 entries. So you can see that was quite a lot of competition. So this means a lot to me. I placed 68th in the world and 29th in the United States. And those are cumulative points. So the people that placed ahead of me have been at it for many years of really hard work and constantly trying to get better. This was my first year, so I did not expect in any way, shape, or form to be able to compete with the world's best and greatest. So this really does mean a lot to me. I very much value the work of those who finished before me and so on. So this is definitely an accomplishment, and I just wanted to share it with all of you because you guys are great, and I love sharing my time with you. I don't mean to abruptly interrupt myself, but I just wanted to insert a couple of the images that I've entered for competition so that you can see some of the work that I've done in the past couple of years. And these are some of my award-winning images that I am very, very proud of, and I hope that you like them too. So thank you so much for following along for another episode. I hope to put out another episode Sunday so that we can spend more time together, and we're in a season of abundant growth. So it's constantly changing. The landscape is growing and filling in, and we're going to be taking pictures together. We're going to be antique shopping in the near future, and of course planting, growing, cooking, and taking care of all the animals on the farm and things that we love. So thanks again for choosing to spend your time with me, and I hope to see you again real soon on Sheena's Homestead. Thanks, friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.